Hi, good morning. My name is Nicole Oman.
And I am Ryan Oman.
And together we are
The Empowering Omans with the Golden Collective.
So today is Spirit Sunday when we finally enter the crown chakra and we connect to spirit. And then we are finally at that, oh no.
Did it stop us?
Oops, it stopped us.
All right, we got a phone
call. So,
technology.
Yay! So what we do is we go into the culmination of spirit, and then we walk back down the ladder and get ready for the next week ahead.
Yes, and so the best way to think of Spirit Sunday is the beginning. Well, I like to think of it as closing time, right? Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So we're completing the energy of the previous week and we are moving into the energy of the next week. And we just actually kind of stumbled upon this because it was mostly random, but we're actually moving up. Each week is really addressing a different chakra itself. And so we're actually moving up the chakra ladder by each of these weeks, as well as within the week and each day. So it's kind of happened naturally, which is really neat.
Yeah, we started with foundation, which is root. Then we went into abundance, which is super duper connected to sacral. And then attraction, which is right here in the sacral chakra. And then now we're in the heart chakra.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working on this next week, or your little snapshot before... just so you know what we're going through next week, is trusting the process.
Right.
And now that we have had so much around realizing we want attraction and that we are wanting abundance and attracting that in our lives, now it's about receiving it. Mm-hmm. Can we receive it? Can we trust what we're receiving it? Or when we do attract, do we trust it or do we sabotage it?
Exactly, and we're going to be going into detail with all of that throughout the week. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go back and discuss what we went through this week, which I think if you guys had a week like we did, it was intense, and we went through a lot, and we had some heavy digging, and we had some really cool breakthroughs. And so let's go ahead and quickly review that. Last week's theme for the week was attraction. And when we started on Monday, we started with the mind and the source. So the idea is pretty much that we were a little bit in our heads, right? We needed to kind of deal with some of these thoughts that were bubbling up, and the source is more of like the connection to source, which I think is that Spirit Sunday kind of rolling into Monday. Again, these things are cyclical, not one end and then the other begins. They all are kind of rolling together.
Yeah, and then we went into sorrow and consciousness, and just dealing with some of our, just being very aware, being very conscious of where we go into self-pity, self-doubt,
maybe some trauma, some bad infidelity experiences, or bad relationships, abuse, that sort of stuff. So Tuesday of last week was a bit of a heavy day.
Yep, and then we went into guilt and suppression, another heavy day.
Yes.
That was a lot around... I feel like that was a lot around jealousy.
Yep.
And allowing ourselves to let go of that the comparison of other people, and allowing us to really see what's beautiful about us.
Shine our own, right? Then we moved into Thankful Thursday, and we had completion and silence. Oh, thank God. So we were able to complete a lot of the work that we did earlier in the week, and we were able to live in that void, that silent place where we can continue to manifest what we really want. We were letting go of the old and bringing in the new.
And then we went into the third eye, which was, we went into the throat.
Throat, yes.
This is all very confusing. The whole thing's not my favorite part, I'll be honest with you. Politics and integration, and then we moved into past life and healing.
Right, yeah. So we did a lot of work there, and then now here we are, Spirit Sunday, and we're working into burdens and possibilities, which sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but the idea is that if we can release our burdens, all of the things that we worked on throughout the week, then we can move into new possibilities.
Yes, and what I think is really interesting as we're going into this crown chakra area is when we finally get what we wanted, right? We get the attraction, we're shining our light, here we are connected to source, connected to our brightness, and we bring things on, and then all of a sudden we're like, yay, we're getting what we want, and oh shit, it comes with responsibilities and burdens, and do I really want this? And more than anything, it comes with dun, 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 it comes with change.
Yeah, I used to work at a gym in Los Angeles, and there was a big sign on the gym that said, "I've never heard the words change and comfortable in the same sentence." And that means we're going to get a little bit uncomfortable when we're going through change, but that's okay. Now, there is one caveat to that. Excuse me while I change into something more comfortable. But that's more of a Tantra Tuesday thing. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Well, and so today we're working on allowing ourselves to open up to those possibilities. And then this next week, so the beginning and the end, right? So then we're going to be moving into trust and allowing ourselves to trust in what we have attracted, because we've been working so hard to clear out the gunk in those 7 chakras on being afraid to attract. Now that we're attracting and now we have our power back, now we have to really deal with the consequences of what we're attracting.
Definitely.
Maybe you do attract that mate and you're like, oh yeah, it's great. Uh-oh. A real mate requires change.
Yeah.
It requires us to show up. It requires us to reflect back to each other our truth. Do you really want a mate, right? Or do you really want that job opportunity? Yay, you got the job, but guess what? Now you've got to learn a new job.
Yeah.
You've got to really take on those responsibilities. You've got to really show up in your power if it's the job you really wanted. So as we attract our possibilities and our opportunities, now we have to trust.
Yeah.
And there's 4 layers of trust. There's trusting self, trusting others, trusting life or the process, and trusting God.
Right.
And now we got the master, the 2 cards we got for the theme was trust. And then I went, well, trusting what? And it has the master card. So the master card is the process or life itself or God, right? But so through this week, what we're going to do is we're going to go into trusting life, trusting ourselves, trusting each other, and trusting God.
Absolutely.
And then encompassing that will be trusting the process.
Yes, but before we do that, we do have to complete what we did last week. So we want to make sure we're putting that period at the end of the sentence. And next week, there's a lot of void, there's a lot of possibilities and the burdens that come along with it. And so we want to make sure that we embrace that now and solidify that energy so that we can trust the process moving into that next week. So as we get into our meditation today, with the crown chakra, it's all about that connection to source, that connection to God or the universe. And so this is where we have to release all of the stuff that we brought in throughout the course of the week and allow space, create space so that we can have that source come in and teach us what we need to be taught. So I want you to try to think about all the stuff you did this week as that being kind of purged from the system, right? It's like we passed that lesson or we moved on to the next level on the video game. And so we want to have that little celebratory moment for those of us who remember the Mario Brothers. The coolest thing about Mario Brothers, at the end, you got to jump onto a flag and there were fireworks. Congratulations, you beat the level. It's like, what a wonderful metaphor for what we just went through in this week.
Totally.
So I want you to take all that in.
Oh my God. I'm going to jump on the flag.
Yeah, jump on the flag, write it down.
Fell, and then I got on the bottom.
Oh, no, you got to time that so you can get right at the top of the flag. I think you got like an extra 1,000 points or something. I don't remember. But I do remember trying to get to the highest part of the flag possible. I think there was also a thing where you go over the flag, and if you go over the flag, then you go into like a warp zone, and then you can like go into any level you want.
We have completely digressed, but...
Yeah, now we can bring up old school video games and we'll digress all day long. So let's get back into the meditation.
So if you jump over the flag, we could go into warp zone and
so you guys can just jump on the flag, ride the flag down. You can do like Nikki, jump onto the ground and just get a little jump on the flag, or you jump over the flag and warp into the next thing. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Either way, we want to go ahead and ground the energy of last week, and we're going to do that here with the singing bowl. So this is our Om bowl, so you guys feel free to Om along with us. But again, the visualization we want you to have is all of the things. Literally all the things from last week.
Your possibilities.
We're going to bring them in. We're going to go, okay, well, what did we do last week? We just reviewed it. Hopefully you remember. Then as you bring it in, you're going to purge it. We let that go. We're creating space for new possibilities. We're letting go of the burdens, and we're moving into our trust.
yourself to open up that crown chakra, that 1,000-petal lotus, opening each petal so that you may receive your possibilities. The roots of the lotus are the attraction itself. We are opening up to our confidence, to our shine, to our beauty, and to our greatness. As we open up to this beauty, we start attracting new people, new things, new opportunities, new job ventures, new abundance into our lives. And as we attract, this may create change in our lives and may require us to fully step into our power. And that might come with new responsibilities and new obligations. And as we open up to those new possibilities, allow the feelings of that burden to start to wash away and be cleansed by the light of Source, and the trust that you know that you can handle any opportunity that arises. Know that you have everything that you need to meet these opportunities, these new people, these new attractions, and that you may shine, and so can they. It is safe to shine. 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 And it is so.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Attraction Week.
Yes.
Woo.
Now we're moving into trust.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we move into trust, we're going to give you a little snapshot for the week to come. And then we're going to move down the chakras. We're going to do a quick little meditation. So we're doing 2 little meditations, connecting to that crown, but also bringing us down into the next week so we can start building up. So if you don't know us, we every day on YouTube, we put a video for each chakra. So Manifestation Monday will go into the root, Tuesday into the sacral, then Wednesday here in the solar plexus, Thankful Thursday in our heart, and then Friday is Fearless Friday in the throat, third eye on Saturday, and then of course Sunday is the crown chakra. And each one we are like building up our bridge or our ladder up to these chakras, clearing out what is blocking us from that theme of the week. So this week is trust. Oh my God, can we trust?
Right.
And can we trust those changes that are giving us new opportunities for us to really take action for the things we ask for?
That's right. And we don't want to get in our own way here, right? And I'm one of those people who definitely could succeed more if I could get out of my own way. So this week is a big process for me, is trusting that if I allow the universe or God to come in and do things for me, that doesn't mean I'm lazy or useless. It simply means that I am allowing to believe that I don't know it all, that I don't have it all figured out, and that I don't have as much control as I think I do. So I have some serious control issues I deal with from time to time, and this week is probably going to bring some of them up for me.
Yeah, and I want you to think about, I want to go through the 4 again, and I really want you to feel in today on which one that you have the most trouble with. And depending on what our lives, what of our experiences have given us, there might be sticking points for each one. So the first one, let's just check in and feel into if you have any resistance to it. So let's go into it. I trust life. Now breathe that feeling in and feel into your body, scan it all the way in and see where you might be resisting trusting your life.
I'm definitely getting it in my root chakra. Feel as though I'm having some lack of trust down there.
I trust myself.
And some more Manipura.
Solar plexus. Oh, totally. Okay. So if we have, had failures in the past, we might have a sticking point on trusting ourselves. So we want to work on that. So I trust others. Can you allow yourself to be supported?
That's sacral for sure.
Mine's throat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Mine's in my throat. Can I trust others? If you've had a lot of betrayals with the people in the past, you might have a sticking point on allowing yourself to be supported by others, allowing people to be in your life, allowing friendships to get close, right? So we have to allow ourselves to clear that this week. And then the last one, I trust God.
Crown chakra.
Oh yeah, it's all here. And if we have had some harsh religious beliefs in our past, we might fear God. We also might not want to put all the power into something else other than ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that, like Ryan said, is control. So can we open up to something bigger to come in and support us and guide us? Are we trusting our higher guidance? Are we trusting the divine? Are we healing that relationship to God? And so those are the 4 places we'll be working in. And the whole encompassing is I trust my process. I trust the process, right? So the whole thing, life, yourself, others, and God is your full encompassing process in this lifetime. So can we trust the process this week?
Yeah.
And we are going to be going from that root, bringing up any of our shadows, seeing where we compromise ourselves, really getting aware of where we're compromising ourselves, and then having that expression, expressing our needs, then going into receiving, and then finally, hopefully, having a bit of a celebration. So that's the week to come. Do you have anything to?
No, Nikki pretty much covered it all.
Sorry, tug it.
Just zoom right through it. So so she said that pretty quickly. So let's recap real quick. Basically, we have pulled cards for each day, and we're going to work through them with the chakras. We'll have a guided meditation on each day, just like we did here for our crown chakra, and then we're going to ground all that energy into the golden bowl at the end of this particular Spirit Sunday. But going back into Muladhara, or your Manifestation Monday, we're going to start with awareness. Okay, so it's really just about being aware of what your needs are. That root chakra is all about needs. It's all about physicality. It's all about the earth. What do you really need, and how are you aware of your needs?
And it's also being very aware of our shadows. So we got the politics card with this one. So this means we're going to be really opening up to seeing where we self-sabotage. So when that change, that opportunity, you finally got that job opportunity, and then we do what I was told a long time ago. It's called a creative U-turn. Where do we U-turn? Where do we go into self-doubt, and where do we sabotage ourselves? That is where we're going into the sacral, because we're going into compromise.
Right, and
where are we compromising our opportunities?
Right, compromise is a two-sided coin, right? Because we need compromise in order to work with others. And we also need to not compromise too much, because then we're not taking care of ourselves. So we're going to spend a little time on Tuesday trying to work out our balance of compromise, making sure that compromise is a two-way street, not a one-way street.
And just compromising ourselves. Sometimes we give away the opportunity and we compromise it because of our fear. So we got to be aware of that too.
Right.
And then
which brings us into the next one, which is all about courage. Right? So we're moving...
Consciousness.
Oh, I jumped ahead. There we go. Consciousness in reverse. All right, so this one's a little bit like, whoa, what's going to go on here? There's going to be some interesting stuff coming up on... we're getting some yard work going in our backyard. It is Sunday.
Today is
With
so
some of us are doing spiritual videos, and other people are mowing their lawn.
Yes.
So anyways, what were we? Consciousness on Willpower Wednesday.
And that we're going to be aware, we're getting conscious of our friendships, or where we're being supported and where we're not being supported. So that's what we're going to go into. And then it's going into that courage area.
There we go.
Then we're going into courage.
Which is all about next week. Next week is all heart chakra, right? This whole week about trust is about the heart chakra.
We have
and
to
that's
have the
where we
courage,
start to get into that courage.
The courage to trust.
Yes, that leap of faith.
Let me tell you something. Trust is not easy. Trust is... we want to surrender into trust, but trust sometimes is an active thing that we have to we have to choose. We either choose trust or we choose fear. And if we're choosing trust, that is taking a massive amount of courage. So this whole week is just building this massive amount of courage to allow ourselves to get out of that old programming, get out of our heads, and really allow ourselves to choose trust.
Yeah, we have a 2-year-old daughter, and she's a perfect example of trust for many reasons. One, she trusts that we're going to catch her anytime she's on something that she could fall off of. Like right now, it's playgrounds. She's trying to keep up with her 7-year-old sister, which makes it really interesting for us. But she trusts us implicitly, so she's able to do things that are very courageous, like climbing up on a playground that's way higher than she should, because she trusts us. You can use that same thing. The other thing that she's into is Elsa's song, Let It Go. Right? And that is all about trust. You have to let go of your control. You have to let go of what you think you're capable of doing so that you can trust that you can do more.
Absolutely. And then we're going into the expression of needs. So when we get into the throat, we have the cards of abundance and guidance. So we have to trust that we're being guided to our own abundance. But we also, that guidance, abundance thing kind of feels like a prayer, to be honest with you. Do we have to express our needs to the universe, to our boss, to each other,
to our partners,
partner? What is our needs?
Family?
Exactly.
Boy, good luck with that one.
Yeah. So we're having to go into expression, and then beautifully enough, in the third eye, we're going into receptivity.
Which is a perfect way. After you've expressed yourself, you put your needs out there, then you have to allow them to be received, or you have to receive what you need. So if you want to put it out there, you say, I need this, I need this, I need this, but you're not opening up the container, creating space so that the thing can come in, then all you're doing is pushing the energy out. You're not pulling back in there. So we've got that yin and yang between those 2 days, or that give and receive happening.
I also see it, what's really interesting, I almost see like when we finally allow ourselves to express it, do we go into worry? That's me, right? So I always go into worry. So if you've filled your head with a bunch of worries, is there space to actually see all the opportunities that are all around us at all times?
Right.
No, we're in worry, and so we're in freak out mode.
Yeah.
So now we have to allow ourselves to go to a different place and go into full trust after you expressed it, to see if you will be curious, be open. I'm ready to receive this with full faith now, instead of going into control or fear.
And if we've done all of our work, at the end of the week, we receive a celebration. Yay, pizza party. If you get all the stickers.
We'll bring pizza, and we'll do a pajama party.
Gluten-free and broccoli, and thank you, San Francisco. You've ruined pizza. If you haven't seen Inside Out, that was an Inside Out reference. Not a dig at San Francisco. But anyways, yeah, we make it through the whole week. We get to celebrate, right? But celebration, currently we pulled the card in reverse, which leads me to believe that the energy is just not quite there yet. It's waiting for us to catch up to that celebration energy. So I really do believe that if we put our work in this week and we really trust the process and we do all the things, at the end of the week, we'll have our pizza party.
Yay! So let's change the bowls.
Yep.
And let's move down into those. So we're going to be moving, now that we're hitting the spirit, we're like, yeah, we're feeling good. But now we got to move.
Ball.
Our 24 karat gold, 24 karat magic. So we're going to come all the way down and we're going to be moving into the lower worlds.
Right.
Where we are going to feel it inside of our bodies and see the truth. Right? So we're going to really allow ourselves to see where we're not trusting, and then we're going to start moving up those chakras again.
Yeah. I like to think of the analogy of chutes and ladders. If you ever played chutes and ladders as a kid, we're doing the ladder during the week, right? When we get to the end, we go, whee! We refer to ourselves and some other people.
Mitch Hedberg reference.
So what we're going to do here with this particular bowl, and I think we're pretty much going to do this every week unless we get inspired to do something different, is we're going to do what I love is my little chakra mantra. Each chakra, as you know, has its own sound, and if you've been watching our videos, you know what the sounds are. This is a quick pop quiz. So,
I'm still going to know.
Yeah, that's true. So the first one, root chakra, that's Lam. Then we move into the sacral, which is Vam with a V, Svadhisthana. And then we move into solar plexus, which is Ram or Ram, if you're white and you don't roll your R as well. I'm white and I do roll my R as well, but it took a lot of practice and living in Florida. Then we move into the heart chakra, and the heart chakra is Yam, like yum. Then we go into the throat chakra, which is Ham, almost like you're clearing your throat, Ham. And then we're into the third eye, Sham, and then we finish at the crown, which is Om. So what we're going to do is just go through all of those, take a big deep breath in, come back down, and do it again. We'll do that 7 times, and that should hopefully set the tone for the week.
Okay.
Ready to rock?
Let's do it.
And or roll. Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham, lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Open up all these chakras and allow them to begin to trust.
Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Setting the intention to clear any blocks or resistance around the word and the feeling of trust.
Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Opening up to new opportunities, new change, and allowing ourselves to fully attract and shine.
Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Bringing in those possibilities and not self-sabotaging.
Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Open our hearts to receive and to give any equal balance this week.
Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Connecting with yourself in each one of your chakras, allowing yourself to be centered in your body and go through this journey this week so that you have a clearer channel, a clearer vessel, so that you may bring in and trust the opportunities coming to you, trusting yourself that you can show up, trusting others that they can be partners and teammates and really support you, and then trusting your life that it's working exactly the way it should. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done.
It is begun.
It is begun. So if you want to walk the ladder with us this week, join us on YouTube. I have a link in this video for you. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are putting on some really great content that's really working. We've had so many people in the Golden Collective and so many of us, and us too, that have been doing this every single day, and it truly is changing us, and we truly are seeing the opportunity.
And rest assured that we're going through this process with you. This is not something we're just guiding you because we know everything, because we're super duper spiritual or uber spiritual or spiritual AF. But the point being is that we're going through this together, guys. And so we want to band together. And if you need a band of brothers and sisters, then check out the Golden Collective. It's a great place to feel supported through your process. We're also going to put up a workshop. We are doing a workshop in August in northern Michigan near Traverse City. And it's going to be about communication and authenticity. Yeah. So the idea is we really want people to express themselves truthfully, honestly, and be able to communicate, learning listening skills, learning how to express themselves. We're going to go through physical, we're going to go through emotional, mental, and spiritual processes each day. It's a 3-day intensive, and we really hope you guys can be there. Those of you who are looking to really dig deep into your process, this will be an intensive for that.
Yeah, and we're also, the authenticity part of the nature of authenticity is also not fearing the harder stuff. So when frustrations arise, how can we communicate that?
Yes.
When our angers arise, when resentments arise, how can we communicate that honestly and not feel shameful, but also be received and be heard and also listen,
right?
Where we can hear other people and not take it personally. And that's what we're really going to be working through. So this is something that we encourage men and women, couples, singles, all of it.
Siblings, family members.
Yeah, totally. Because we really want to heal in such a deep way. And that's where they all come from.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you again tomorrow with Manifestation Monday as we work on trusting in the root chakra. We will see you again soon. Namaste.